So right over here, I have another example of pen code. You can see in the code that it uses a clone. The clone creates its own brightness and saturation randomly so that we get some dark, some light, some grayish versions of the color. It points in a random direction, and then it moves in kind of a spiraling motion 10 times. What we're going to do now is change this code so that we can control it, or not that we can control it because we're already controlling it with code, but give the user of our code, even if it's not us, the ability to control the pen using the keyboard. To do that, we're going to use event blocks. And the event blocks we need are the key press event blocks. In your toolbox, it's going to automatically say space, but that's a drop-down menu. So if I grab the space block, I can change that to an up arrow. And I can use duplicate to make the rest of them right from here so I don't have to keep grabbing it from my toolbox. Let's get left and right. Now you can use any action blocks and attach them to these events and it'll change things that your code does. I'm going to tell my program that I want the up arrow to change the size of my pen by using the change pen size block right here. I'm going to use the same block in the down arrow, but instead of adding to the size of the pen, I want the down arrow to subtract from the size of the pen. So when I click in that space, I'm going to put a negative symbol and a 1. For my left and right, I'm going to use those to change the color of the pen so that the left arrow is going to change the pen color by -1. And the, accidentally did left arrow twice. There we go. And the right arrow is going to change the pen color by 1. So when I start my program, it's drawing normally, but then what I can do is put my finger on the up arrow, and every time I hit that button, it makes the lines that my clones are drawing thicker. I'm going to hold that down and get it about as thick as I can. Now I'm drawing with some huge lines, and then I can start shrinking that back down by holding down the down arrow. All right, let's experiment with changing the colors next. Here's the way it's starting now, and now I'm going to use the right arrow, and the colors of my line are changing. If I hold down that arrow, they'll change continuously. And now a person, even if the person using my program isn't me, they'll still be able to change what this pen does. So you don't have to use these exact blocks. There are other things you could do. Um, but I'd really like for you to experiment a little bit with what you can do using event blocks to give the user some control over the tool.